What's going on, guys? David here again. Hey, let's talk about the 5 cabinets that I would love to see Arcade1up come out with in the near future, maybe the next year or so. And also some news maybe from AtGames. Let's talk about it after this. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Reviews by David. I am David, obviously. Here we like to talk about gaming, retro and modern, and then smart home tech, lighting, RGB, and all that kind of stuff. Make everything easier and simpler to use, and technology to play your games. But hey, today I want to talk about the 5 cabinets that I hope Arcade1up brings with a little bit of flair from the community and what maybe the community's looking for, and possibly the possibility, in my opinion, of the cabinets actually happening in the next maybe 12 months to 18 months time period. Now, aside from that, there's been some news talked about. We saw a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle AtGames Pinball machine leaked, revealed maybe. For me, I'm pretty excited about that, and I hope it's completely real and legit. It's possible it is. I know AtGames is looking into pinball. They've already talked about Holiday 2020 having pinball. Of course, at this point, we're getting really close to Holiday 2020, and they haven't said anything that I've seen. So, excuse me, I think the odds of that now are getting kind of low in my opinion, unless they're just kind of like, here it is, we got it, we're dropping it, go buy it. And I'm hoping it's Ninja Turtles. I believe the dimensions are looking like it's going to be a little bit bigger than the Arcade1up ones, which is nice because pinball, to me, you want it to be a little bigger, but I don't want a full-size one in my room. I don't want to pay the price for a full-size one. So if this comes out and anywhere around the time Arcade1up pinballs come out and their price points are very close, I'm definitely going to be looking into the AtGames. It'll be the first AtGames purchase. I have no interest in the AtGames Legends Ultimate machine, but a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball machine that maybe you can download more games to, or more pinball games to, that sounds pretty awesome. And I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what I grew up on. I'm a 90s baby. Love the Turtles. Watched all their movies, all that good stuff. So anyway, let me know down in the comments below if you think that Legends Ultimate pinball TMT is going to be real. If we're going to get it Holiday 2020, we're joking that it'll probably be out before the pinballs of Arcade1up. We'll see. We'll find out, I guess, in time. I hope it's true. I hope it's real. It'd go great with my TMT cab. Have it sitting over here. But anyway, let's get into the top 5 cabinets for Arcade1up that I would love to see come out in the next year, 18 months down the road. And let's start out with number 5. And this is more of a community one. It's going to be either Tron, and I'm going to rope in Afterburner into it with the joystick and everything. I really, if you want to talk legitimately of it happening, I think it's going to happen. When, that's kind of the question. I know the community really wants it, but does it really fit into the general population of people who see this? Will they buy it? That's where I think the issue is going to come with Tron, and I think it needs stronger hard drive and stuff to run than the PCBs these games have been running on. So I'm not real sure how quickly we'll see Tron. I'm going to give it about a 4, that we would see it in the next 18 months. Really don't see it. I might be guessing a little high on a 4. But who knows? Arcade1up's pulled off stuff like Miss Pac-Man and even TMT that we didn't think they were going to do with a 4-person controller. Stuff we didn't think was going to happen. Number 4, and I think this one's a big community favorite. I think everybody would love to see it. It's basically a Nintendo cab leaning Donkey Kong, obviously. If they came out with a Donkey Kong and somehow are able to rope in like Super Mario into it, they're able to get the licensing. I think that's going to be the main problem. And Nintendo's got the money. They can make their own arcades if they wanted to, if they saw the market for it. If they just didn't want to deal with it and get money for somebody else doing it, it's possible. But I can see licensing with Nintendo being very difficult. But if they came out with one with Donkey Kong, especially if they were able to somehow rope in Mario and all that on there, it'd be a first day buy for me. And I'd have it just for the nostalgia of Donkey Kong. And my wife loves those games, so that would definitely help out buying it, if you will. But I'm going to give this one, unfortunately, a 1. I really don't see Nintendo giving Arcade1up the licensing to do it when they could do it themselves and make money off it, make more money off of it. But on the other side, Arcade1up's made things happen we didn't see happening before, so who knows? Maybe we'll find out soon. Number 3 is definitely going to be kind of near and dear more to my heart, as I'm a big football fan. You could probably guess NFL Blitz is one we'd love to see. I think it goes along with NBA Jam. It'd go along with the Golden Tee Cabinet, the sports cabinets, that theme going. Football is huge in America. I think if you did something football, not only are you going to capture arcade enthusiasts, but you're going to capture more of the general population, which is Arcade1up. That is a big side of their business they're trying to play to. And having a football cabinet, even if they, let's say they went down the road of Tecmo Super Bowl or one of the Maddens, that might not resonate as much with the Arcade1up community or the arcade community, because those weren't as major labels as NFL Blitz was. But I think the general pop would like it, and Madden's a huge game for a lot of people in America. Plus, the NFL has been trying to get more into player safety and away from fights and hitting people late and all that kind of stuff that Blitz really does. So, unfortunately, I don't. It's going to be a back and forth. If you just want to say like an NFL cabinet, I would definitely say an NFL cabinet's coming. It's going to come at some point. There's too much money in it. You can't miss out on it. They're going to fight and try to get the licenses for any of that. John B. hasn't ruled out NFL Blitz, so there's still that possibility is still there. And I'm going to give this one around a 5. I think NFL Blitz is kind of a toss-up. And of course, when we talk about the PCB, I believe it's on the new Raspberry Pi 4. I'm not sure how well it's running yet on that, but if it's already on a Raspberry Pi, I could see Arcade1up definitely in the next 18 months having the technology to be able to do it and keep it at a good cost point. It's just going to be able to get the license in and the NFL's blessing. And aside from that, going Tecmo Super Bowl, Tecmo Bowl, or Madden, they've got to do a football one. They've done a couple sports ones. A baseball one's going to have to come out. They could even add NHL Open Ice onto it, as I don't really know how big hockey would be. But if you roped it into an NFL Blitz to where you had those 2 or 3 games on there at least, well, now you've got something. And you need to put the 2 NFL Blitzes on there if the PCBs can run it, and then an Open Ice or something. Now you got 3 games on there. Good sports cabinet. Man caves will love them. I'm giving it a 5. I'm more leaning that something is going to happen along those lines. It may not necessarily be Blitz, which is why I'm giving it a 5. If you said a football cabinet in general, I would say more probably an 8. That's money. You can't let sports make money. So you've got, as long as you can get the licensing, they're going to figure out a way to do it. All right, number 2, this is going to rope in everybody because everybody wants a racing cabinet. I want a racing cabinet, and for me, 1, 2, and 3 can all they're pretty interchangeable. It's really like 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, or whatever. And I'd flip 1 and 2 either which way. But number 2, I'm going to go with Cruis'n World USA Exotica. Now, I'm not sure of the technology advances between Cruis'n USA all the way to Exotica, or even the Fast and Furious versions of these games. But I really think they're going to go to them. Now, of course, they could go Daytona. That could be one. I have a feeling that probably Outrun or something like Pole Position is probably going to come out first to start off, because they got to get that technology. They got to get to that technology support for Cruis'n or Daytona, while keeping that cost down in that $500 range to sell to you and me. 18 months, technology advances, prices come down, technology. I could easily see them do it, especially if they bring out a racing cab now that's not one of these, and it does well. Then, or, the community just demands it, like, okay, great, you brought us Outrun. You got, the older community, I'm not buying Outrun. If Outrun comes out, it wasn't one of my favorite games, I'm not buying it. But a Cruis'n World, Cruis'n USA, that's a first day buy for me, especially if it comes in a sit-down cab. They're able to figure that out, work the kinks out. First day buy for me if it's a Cruis'n USA, even if it's a Daytona. I'd very much consider it. If they roped Cruis'n and Daytona together, I don't know how many. There's a million racing games out there, but of that genre of what to run with, that'd be interesting to see what they do. Or if they come out with any bike games, could they come out with a Cruis'n USA and add a bike game into it somehow, even with a steering wheel? I don't know. Y'all let me know how that might work. I could see them doing it. I don't know if it'd be as fun, but maybe you could add it in there. Of course, with Cruis'n USA, you could add in like an afterburner or something, and I don't know, something simple like that. But I'm going to give this one about a 6.5. I mean, we're talking 18 months out. Racing cabs are coming. People are wanting them. This is another one I could see people wanting in their house as a general population thing. racing games are cool. People like car racing. They like cars. Man cave, all that good stuff. Easily put it in there. I think they could sell it even if they went to a $600 price point, did more of one of those Ferrari type cabs, and maybe it's a little beefier in the PCB, beefier TV, a little bit bigger maybe, sit down cabinet. I think it could work. Maybe get rid of the lit marquee. Some of these, they've like the Buck Hunter, they've kind of gone away from the lit marquees. Maybe you don't need one. Sell it third party, sell it, separately on the site. Keep that price down so you can get into the cab, and then down the road buy you the lit marquee if you want it. Maybe you want it with it. I don't know. Let me know down below. So I'm going to give it about 6.5 on that one. Time Crisis is going to be number 1 for me. Now that ropes in House of the Dead. Not sure. I think Time Crisis, the older ones, might be a little more possible maybe than the first House of the Dead one. Might be a little stronger, need a little more beef than Time Crisis, but I love Time Crisis. I play it every time we go to Dave & Buster's or any of those. Of course, play House of the Dead and all that too, but Time Crisis is my first stop. Played them on anywhere we go, pizza places that have it. I just love Time Crisis. Even if they came out with an Area 51 version, or was it Lethal Enforcers, Terminator, a shooting cab in general is going to be awesome, and I would definitely want it, but I'd be hard-pressed with those, knowing technology is going to get better, and I see eventually, I definitely see House of the Dead coming. If I'm going to rank this, I'm going to say this is going to be an 8 or a 9, that this is going to happen within the 18 months. Our shooter cab, I mean, a racing cab, we know, that's basically a 10 out of 10. That's going to happen. A shooter cab, 10 out of 10, they're going to happen. And by shooter cab, I mean not Buck Hunter. I'm talking about a first-person shooter type game at least. 10 out of 10, I think those are going to happen in the next 18 months. Now, whether it's Cruising USA for racing, Daytona, that remains to be seen. I think those are high. I think Daytona's pretty high up the list. And then as far as the shooter games, I think House of the Dead is going to be high up the list. And Time Crisis should be up there too. But Area 51 and Lethal Enforcers and some of the Terminators are going to be the easier ones, I think, at first to do. So then it's going to be like, well, and I want Time Crisis. So I'm saying about 18 months, I'm going to give it about an 8. Because I think whatever shooter cab they come out with to begin with, whether it's an Area 51 with Lethal Enforcers or any of those, I think they're going to sell really well, and technology's going to get better, costs are going to come down. Like I stated before, sound like a broken record, Time Crisis, House of the Dead are going to come. And I'd love to see House of the Dead come. My daughter, she's 5 years old. We went and played it at Dave & Buster's, and I thought it would scare her. We played the one, I don't know which one it was. It wasn't House of the Dead, it's the one where the whole thing almost shakes and it messes your panic meter and all that. And like, it's pretty intense. It scared my wife. She played it no problem. Now, she was 4 at the time when she played it, so maybe she didn't understand the risk and the scare part of it. And as she gets older, she will, but she played it and loved it. So if House of the Dead comes out, I love zombies. Grew up in that time too. Zombies and vampires, real vampires, not the glittery ones, with Underworld and all that. Those type vampires. That's what I like. So vampires, but of course with shooting, it's zombies. So shooting zombies would be awesome. And so I'm looking forward to the Xbox coming out and getting Call of Duty zombies or whatever. That's going to be awesome. Other topic for other day. So I'm going to give a real shooter cab 10 out of 10, a racing cab 10 out of 10. Obviously, they're coming. Cruising World USA in the next 18 months, I'm going to give it more around a 6.5, 7, maybe 18 months coming out. And then Time Crisis, House of the Dead. House of the Dead, I think, has a lot better chances. I think it's more popular among people. I think the zombie side of it, too, even if people who don't really know what House of the Dead is for whatever reason, but gamers will love it. Regular people see zombies. Everybody loves shooting zombies. So I can see House of the Dead maybe being a little more where they focus than Time Crisis, but I'd take Time Crisis. That's my thing. So hey, what are some of the cabs you would love to see? Are any of these in one of the ones you want to see? Do you want to see all of them? Do you want to see a bunch more? Did I get the list completely wrong? Am I a complete moron? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what cab you really want to get, because I'd love to know. It's interesting because the more I know about what you want, that's probably what Arcade1up's going to listen to. They're going to listen to the community and what people say and what they want, and then whatever is within their licensing rights and ability, technology-wise, to be able to do it. That's probably what they're going to push forward. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was pushed. NBA Jam was pushed. Here they are sitting next to us. So let me know down below. Of course, they're pushing Pac-Man. I don't think anybody's really asking for that, but Pac-Man sells. Anyway, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me if you don't mind. We'll bring you more content like this. We're about to get exciting with more Arcade1up. Pre-orders are supposed to start coming through in November, so we'll be able to discuss if they came through, if they're doing better now, if maybe we can pre-order in the future after whatever happens with Miss Pac-Man and Street Fighter and Capcom and Marvel and all that. Hopefully Pinball shows up. Hopefully we get a date on it. But just go ahead and click that subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date as best I can. And we'll talk other stuff. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5's coming out. Hope to get my hands on a PlayStation. I've already pre-ordered the X. And other technology. TVs, surround sound, looking to upgrade a lot of stuff. Bring them to you and let you know what you should get if you're looking for new stuff for your home. Hey, click that subscribe button. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Out.